Rally Wales is the traditional sting in the tail of the championship. In each of its 5 appearances previously, it has crowned a champion. And once again, the Welsh Forest sets the scene for this season's showdown. Phil Bardwell and Zak Stewart have been the 2 standout performers, and it's Phil who arrives in Wales with a 13-point advantage. Zak will need victory here, with his rival no higher than 3rd if he is to snatch the title. The weather can make this an uncomfortable place to be though. Drivers will have to be cautious of the ever-changing conditions. Phil made his intentions clear from the off. Well aware that the likes of Roy and Dom could play their part, he went about setting the quickest time of anyone. Wales is an event that has seemed to suit Zak greatly in the past, having won the last 2 rallies here. But it was a steady start from the Citroën runner, who was 4 seconds slower than Phil. Roy was making his 2nd appearance of the season and eyeing a record-extending 14th career victory. The Irishman would pick up only his 2nd career puncher though, getting caught out in the tricky conditions. He was 13th and already 17 seconds adrift of the leader. The rain had stopped in the 2nd stage, but the ground was still wet, and Owen got his car stuck when turning in for a hairpin too soon. The Ford runner would fall outside the top 10. Phil was quickest once again, extending his rally lead to 6 seconds over Iggy. But more importantly, he was now 9 seconds ahead of Zak. John moved up to 5th after leapfrogging Sam, Aidan and Owen, as Roy moved himself up to 8th after a much steadier run. Zak was pushing hard as he looked to claw back time on his rival in the 2nd leg. But in the forest where he had dominated only 1 season ago, he smashed into a post that left him with big damage. Phil was in imperious form as he claimed his 3rd straight stage victory. A 2nd driver's title was now looking very likely, with his lead over Zak up to half a minute. Roy was finding his feet in the Citroën and went 2nd fastest through the stage, continuing his run up through the standings, where he now placed 5th. Despite holding a 7-second lead, Phil continued to push hard and the boundaries. Taking a shortcut early on in the 4th stage left his rivals seething. Dom announced he would be seeking legal advice, while Roy argued that Phil's title would now be tainted. Court elected not to take the shortcut, as he is not a cheat, but the Dutchman came off worse for it, falling down into a ditch and earning himself a puncher. Don't worry though, karma would quickly catch up with Phil. Running off course handed him an 11-second penalty, which cost him the rally lead. Iggy would take over up front. He was having the rally of his season, and now he was almost 5 seconds in the lead. Suddenly there was hope for Zak again, but he would need more mishaps from Phil if he was to take this title. Just 6 seconds were separating Zak in 5th and Alistair in 8th. The rain returned, and through Bidno Moorland reverse, Phil claimed a 4th stage win that moved him back into the lead of the rally. Roy was only a 10th slower and now up to 3rd overall, as just 5 seconds covered the front 3 with the final stage to come. Zak's hopes were now all but over as he lost another 6 seconds to Phil after colliding with a rock. The Citroën runner revealing he would be signing up to the Phil Bardwell School of Corner Cuts next season. It's well known that the Scots and English do not get on, but maybe mistaking Wales for England, Alistair decided to launch his car into a crowd of people in the final stage. Phil meanwhile showed no signs of giving up his lead for a 2nd time, flying through the power stage to claim maximum bonus points ahead of Roy and Zak. Phil had therefore done enough to take an 8th career victory that handed him the driver's title for a 2nd time. Roy jumped Iggy into 2nd by just 6/10, while Zak was left to settle for 5th in the rally and 2nd in the championship. 7 seconds was Phil's final winning margin, as Roy recovered from a 1st stage puncher to finish a season best 2nd. Iggy claims his 1st ever podium in the championship, as Dom took home his best Wales finish in 4th. Sam and Chris both impressed with top 10 finishes, as Alex finished highest of the Dirt 2 runners in 11th overall, CJH and Blair making the podium in that tier. Mike and Jack just about secured points in the top class. There were 9 drivers who failed to finish in Wales, not the end of a season that either Dan or Court had been hoping for. Phil was 29 points clear of Zak in the end, as Dom claimed 3rd overall. Luca will be disappointed to finish only 4th after winning the opening 2 rounds, while Alistair ended the season in 5th thanks to his victory in Scotland. Roy moved inside the top 10 on the final day, as Chris finished an excellent 10th. It's been a thrilling season from start to finish, with the unexpected wins for Owen and Alistair, and a title battle that went the distance between Phil and Zak. From the ice of Monte Carlo to the mud of Wales, Season 10 has produced the goods throughout, and we hope you've enjoyed following it with us.